Okay, I'm back again. I've been off the trail for the better part of a week. I went into town to get a blood test, and I came back. I'd gotten a hotel room the night before so I could get all washed up and clean for the lobotomist. Not lobotomist, phlebotomist. Although I could probably use a lobotomy too. That's funny. That was a slip. I apologize. Yeah, get a whole cleaned up for the lobotomy. It doesn't matter at that point. Anyhow, I ended up spending the week there. I had some, let's say, GI issues, so I didn't want to leave the comforts of full-on plumbing. And now I'm back. It's almost a week since I was at McAfee Knob. So, and that was the last day. So, and unfortunately, it was the day where Grandmaster lost his life on that cliff. Alright, now what? Now, I am at the 6:30 mark, and fortunately, I'm so out of touch and screwed up that I have been going through the stuff in the car back and forth, and my last attempt, I had forgotten, I walked about 20 feet and realized I didn't have my trekking poles, and I don't do well without them, so there they are. I just locked the car up again, and I think this is my last attempt to get away from the car. My attempt for tonight, because it's about 3:30, I was supposed to be here about 1, would be, or 1:30 even, so I'm a little late. But I did run into some interesting people, and that chewed up 45 minutes. There were other people that were parking their cars here and moving on. So that was good. And yeah, you could see the hills I'll be climbing, kind of. The next really good parking area is about 30 miles, 7:58-ish. I'll look when I get closer, because there's no way I'm making that tonight. If I could, I'd be in Pennsylvania by the weekend. Whatchamacallit. So, oh, and that's probably too close, very close. Just realized that. I have to focus on not what I'm saying, but what I'm doing technically. You gotta do both. Damn. Movie stars and shit, they've got somebody working on one end, and they're working on the other. All they have to do is memorize their lines. Anyhow, so I'm gonna start 7:30-ish here, the mile marker, and move forward. I gotta cross that highway over there. Fortunately, I believe there's a median in the middle, so I don't have to worry too much. I only have to do one lane at a time, so it won't be too much like playing Frogger. You know, hike or hunt. And I don't expect to get more than 5 miles tonight. There is a sheltered 5 miles with water. If I get there, great. If I don't, I've got almost 3 liters with me, and I've been drinking all day, so non-alcohol. I realize that some people, when I say that, think I've been out doing beers all day. Been drinking water all day, and so I'm well hydrated. So if I only get 2 or 3 miles, it'll only be 2 or 3 miles more, and I'll have a liter with me, and that should be more than enough, and I'll get the water at the shelter at the 5 mile mark from here, which would be about 7:35, and then go forward from there. I'm hoping it only takes me 2 or 3 days. If something goes wrong, it's not a big deal. There's a lot of road crossings, and I've got a new shuttle driver's number, and I met him here, which is part of the reason it took a little extra time. And I met a couple of really nice hikers, and I wish I could remember their names, but I don't. God, I gotta start writing this stuff down. Anyhow, she did about 500 miles last year, and she's up to 7 this year. And whatchamacallit, but she's doing it in sections, and she said her sections are running about, averaging about 300. So not bad. And her friend. And there's a bunch of other people there hiking with evidently this time. And they were managing the car thing. And they gave me Homer's number, and then Homer pulled up. And we all got to meet one another and say hi. So, met him, and he's probably at least going to get me the next 30 miles, if not longer. And if I need to bail out anywhere in between, I can call him. And that's kind of how this works. But you do have to know, where reasonable road crossings are. And in that case, I will talk to you later. Oh, what day is today? Today is, I have no clue. But I'm going to look. Today is June 3, Friday, June 3. And, which means I'll really start hiking on the 4th and counting. And if I can get, and I've got enough food where I don't care if I eat dinner tonight or not. I'll probably eat something, but it's not critical. All right, I'm going to try and turn this off instead of rambling on and wasting another half an hour. Bye-bye. Well, this is the first view I've run into since I started at the cleaners. And at first, when it first started to come into view, I thought that tower there might have been an old-fashioned water tower. But judging by the windows, I'm thinking it's more of a hunting perch. So, and that is some kind of tool shack or something along those lines, I would imagine. And judging by the tire tracks or plow or whatever, there have been people manicuring and taking care of the grounds. So, but that's the first thing. You could probably still hear the traffic in the background. I'm not that far into it. Maybe a half a mile. I'm not going to look. Just wanted to share with you. And there has been signs of people gardening along the way. Different cages up around different plants and stuff. So, I will see you later. Bye-bye. And I just came across this in the woods. Some people are so nice. Water. Now, if you were here and you really needed it, which I don't, it's so nice. Because it could actually be a lifesaver in the right places. And that's in case you run out of gas and can't make it up the next hill. There's a lawn roamer that you'll notice the lawn is only partially mowed and it stops there. The lawnmower is left under a tree back there. So I suspect the guy who mows the lawn fills up the water jugs and also places his refill for the mower here. Just curious, 510. 510. He labeled the top of one of the bottles. And there is a message. And normally I don't get down to read them, but seeing how there's a message on there, because at first I thought it was just for him. When it breaks, purified, be chilled, well water, be well. Beach Hill. Beach Hill. Beach Hills. I'm okay. There's reading B here. Whatever. You can figure that out. Maybe if I took some water, it would be better. And there's B, and that's what put the B in my mind. I think sort of I was primed to read it wrong. And this looks like somebody's grave, or he's just covering up a stump. Don't know. But I'm not going to bother it either way. It's the B that makes me think it's more than just a stump. But I could be wrong. Anyhow, I gotta go up there. And that is very nice. And to whoever leaves that, thank you. If you see this, chances are slim that'll happen. But Walks with Donor thanks you. Because I know there were a few times where I was like, oh, if there was only some water here, I wouldn't have to force myself to do the extra mile. I could just stop here for the night. I'm not interested in stopping here for the night, although it's a very nice spot. But there have been times like that. Alright. I'm just taking it slow. First day back. Always go slow. Because your body right now is saying, what the hell? You fooled us. 2 or 3 days in a bed, lounging around. We thought that was the rest of our lives. You were done doing this weird shit. No. He's gonna do it again. So it needs time to adjust. And get, sleep on it. And naturally, as we've seen all over the country, there are electrical lines that are known as solar flare antennas. Any of you know what so probably a lot of you know what I'm talking about. But that will someday create a major problem unless they protect all the lines on the grid against solar flares, which to the best of my knowledge they haven't. And they learned this in the 1800s when telegraphs were around. If you're interested, look up the Carrington event. There was a solar flare, and because any wire strung out like that is basically an antenna of some sort to some frequency, all of a sudden all the telegraph operators got a shock, figuratively and literally, and it burnt up a lot of telegraph equipment. And look, there's the interstate. Now, as long as we don't get hit with a solar flare, which we haven't in a while, but we're overdue, it won't be a problem. Like a hurricane or a tornado or something. It's not going to happen to you. Anyway, you guys didn't call, you didn't tune in here to hear my preaching. So, it's interesting. I don't really want to spy on people in their houses. They see a guy out there mowing his lawn. But I was more interested in the roles of, is that hay? Or, I think it's hay. But I don't know. I see them all the time around the farm lots. And I'm not the farmer. But I know they use them for livestock. And hay and straw are pretty popular and common. But straw is usually in a bale. At least the straw that I've seen. Alright. See you later. Bye-bye. Okay. This will be lousy. But this is where the interstate and the other major road converge or intersect. I know we have to cross one of them. I'm guessing it's the lower one, which would be nicer because I really don't like taking too much risk with my life. The trail appears to go this way, but the white blaze goes that way. So I am a little confused, but I'm going to go with the more heavily traveled path. And then I think I'm going to walk up that way, unless I see something to the contrary. See you later. Well, here is another milestone I was not expecting to see for a couple more miles yet. But it says 1/3 the way. So that's an achievement I am a little more proud of. Unfortunately, what I'm not so proud of is the mess right next to it. I don't know if someone came out with some trail magic trying to do a nice thing, but those definitely look like hiker style shoes. They're oboes, which is a known hiker brand. So does that mean someone quit here and hung his shoes up like they do at mountain crossings? I don't know, but shit. If someone went ahead and did, this is one of the complaints with people doing trail magic, where they just dump a couple six-packs on the side. On the one hand, it's appreciated. On the other hand, you know, you got to come back and pick the cans up, or leave a means here. So in fairness to the thru hikers, they did try and make it neat, but packing it out would have been better. Oh, 2/3 the way. That's with the people coming the other direction. You only have 1/3 left to go, which would make sense. I was just curious. I figured I'd look at the other side of the pole. But yeah, I'm a little ashamed of that. I do not have the means, which is probably what most of the hikers say, to carry it. And I found that cans are very sharp, especially when you fold them like that. And you don't really want to put them in your pack, because they will cut right through it. Did it one time. Not a good idea. So, yes, people that leave trail magic, try and leave a means, either a bag or a container. So if you leave it in the bag, I think most people will put it in there. And then you'll be able to just pick it up. But thank you. Bye-bye. And there's a bunny rabbit right behind that plant. If I don't scare him again. Or her. There she goes. I got a little bit of it. And look, in case the train guys get lost, they have a thing that tells them they're going west. Actually means blow the whistle. Anyway. But I was always wondering when I was a kid why they give them directions on which way they're going when they don't have a steering wheel. And to report a problem or an emergency. And it's nice, they actually put up a crossing. Like, you know, somebody's going out of their way to think about that and do that. Thank you, whoever that was. Alright. Bye-bye. Oh, it's still, I guess Friday afternoon. June. Damn it, I gotta look again. Friday the 3rd on June. Which means the longest day of the year is only a couple weeks away. Or the longest daytime time of the day. Never mind, you know what I'm saying. Goodbye.